This is the news and talk of Nevada. Now, the Dan Mason Show on News Talk 780 KOH and KKOH.com.
Big changes came to our Nevada education system this past legislative session with, lots of school choice measures passing. For the most part, they've been universally acclaimed. With one notable exception, the ACLU is suing to try and stop it all from happening. But school choice seems to work in most of the places where it's been tried. That's really all I think we need to know. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Dan Mason, News Talk 780 KOH. Here in Nevada, we've got a really large Hispanic population. And that is the front line in the struggle to improve what we are facing, our education system. It's a state issue for us, but nationally, lots of other folks are looking toward us and saying, wow, you're really ahead of the curve there in Nevada. You got some good things going on. People are watching. People are paying attention, just like we are. And as we look forward to a presidential election a year from now, a little less than that now, if school choice really matters to you, then your candidate for president might really matter to you as well. When it comes to education, the folks at the Libre Institute know what they're talking about. Our special guest today is Rachel Campos-Duffy from the Libre Institute. Hello there, Rachel. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. This is such an important subject.
It sure got everybody's attention here in our state, and there are an awful lot of people that are excited about the possibilities. And we have seen in other states some success stories, although some of them, they didn't go quite as far as we did. But Florida is a great example of where then Governor Jeb Bush did a lot of school choice measures that worked out really well. But Hillary Clinton doesn't seem to think much of school choice, even though, as I recall, she sent her daughter to a private school when she was living in Washington, D.C. What's her problem?
Well, and so did Barack Obama. I mean, these are the people closing the doors on the poor, on the working class, on minorities who are looking for opportunity for their kids, looking to take their kids out of schools that are not just failing. In some cases, they're downright dangerous. So they locked the doors for those people. But, boy, they like school choice for themselves. It's typical elite politics, if you ask me. I happen to live in Wisconsin. We've had school choice here for 25 years. And I tell you, it works great. People love it. And the biggest fans of school choice are, no surprise, African Americans, Hispanics, and the working poor. Because they know without these kinds of programs, they don't have the same access as the privileged and the elite. And I just think that access to a good education, to parental choice in education, is about as much of a civil right or a human right as you can fight for. And so, I look at Hillary Clinton, and she claims to care about the minorities and Hispanics in particular. She's fighting hard in Nevada for them. She says she wants empowerment, but I think what she wants is really more dependency on government, dependency on handouts from politicians like her, and not really opportunity and the opportunity to be self-reliant and successful. I'll tell you this, I'm a Latina myself. We don't need more crumbs off the government table. What we need is access to opportunity, equal opportunity.
You say in Wisconsin, where you are from, they've been doing school choice in some forms for 25 years. What works there?
Well, we have the voucher program here, and I tell you what's interesting here is that the progressive groups on the left, the community organizations that are operating on the ground in Hispanic neighborhoods, they're mum when it comes to school choice. They actually don't tell the constituents or the people they claim to be helping. They don't tell them their position on school choice. So one of the things that Libre is doing, we're just now moving into Milwaukee. We've been operating in Nevada for a few years now. But one of the things we do is really allow the community to know where politicians, where legislators stand on this issue, because a lot of times they come into these communities and they talk a big game, but when it comes down to the policies that absolutely give opportunity and access to a good education, they're the ones that are actually, like President Obama, like Hillary Clinton, closing the doors on those opportunities. So we are out there laying the policies out, showing parents who are the ones who are actually fighting for their kids.
You know, it's a lot of do as I say, not as I do, as you have pointed out. Hillary Clinton called vouchers a scheme. That's a pretty negative word in relation to this. And she said charter schools in particular, which she doesn't like, they really don't want the struggling students. They only want the good ones to come over there, is what she's claiming.
She actually calls charter schools a threat to democracy. I mean, imagine that, a threat to democracy, giving the children that happen to, you shouldn't, your zip code should not determine what kind of access to education you get. It's just simply not fair, and it's the height of hypocrisy for people like Hillary. I mean, Hillary and Obama are sending their kids to private schools where the tuition costs more than most Hispanics make in a year. This is the height of hypocrisy. And believe me, they're not out there announcing to the minorities and to the working poor that they're sending their kids to these schools and that they're locking the doors. What they're doing instead is maligning what are actual facts about how much charter schools and voucher programs have helped families and help students. Wherever they are, we see math and reading scores go up. We see graduation rates go up. We see college admission rates go up. And again, it's really saying to parents, you're too stupid. We're smart enough to pick the right schools for our kids, but you're too stupid to do that. I say Hispanic parents, African-American parents, the parents of working poor, they are smart people. You give them a choice, they will pick the right schools. And when they do, competition works. Competition works. If the public school next door, if people start walking over to the charter school and enrolling their kids there because it's better, that public school is going to get better. It's going to have to get better or it's going to wither. And competition works. Let me give you one example. I happen to have 7 children. That's why I'm so passionate about this subject. If I told my son to run to the mailbox, from the front door to the mailbox by himself, or I told him to run to the mailbox with his sister, I guarantee you he runs faster if he runs against his sister. Competition works. It's human nature. It helps in education. And again, let's stop patronizing minorities and the working poor. Let's give them the same options and choices for something as fundamental as opportunity in education.
She had an interesting quote that I saw. She said, I want parents to be able to exercise choice within the public school system, not outside of it. What choice in the public school system is she possibly referring to? There is no choice. You either take it or you leave it.
And why didn't she do the same for her own kids? I mean, the Bushes sent their kids to public school. Clearly, she likes choice for her, but not for others.
Yeah, that seems to be a prevailing theory among those on the left. Rachel Campos-Duffy is our guest from the Libre Institute. They have been big proponents of school choice for a long time. You said, as you mentioned, you're Latina. The Hispanic community is very much in favor of this, correct?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, this isn't the only issue that Hispanics are in favor of conservative principles. That's why what the Libre Institute and the Libre Initiative, which is our sister organization, what we're doing, the work we're doing is so important. Whether it's school choice or an overregulated business environment, because as you know, Hispanics start businesses at 3 times the rate of the average American. They care about taxes, they care about regulation, they care about simplifying the ability to start a business. You name the subject, I tell you they are conservative. We need to be on the ground talking to them because they want opportunity. They do not want more dependency on government. They want opportunity, and that's what the conservative movement is all about. The conservative policies are all about empowerment, all about self-reliance, and all about creating your own American dream. And we need to be out there really contrasting what they're selling on the left, which is dependency on government, and the kind of dream that I think so many Hispanics have risked their lives to come over here in search of.
Rachel Campos-Duffy is our guest from the Libre Foundation. We'll be back with more after Right Now Traffic and Weather together on News Talk 780 KOH 317 is our time. Jake Parker's got the news for us.
Now back to